Hello and welcome. This is an update on the Senate elections 3 days before the midterms. This is what I think, plus polls kind of in this as well, but this is what I kind of think is going to happen, plus polls. So I already put in the safe Republican and safe Democrat seats. For the likely seats for the Republicans, the state of Texas, Ted Cruz is most likely to win the seat around 8%. He's been polling around a 6 to 10% lately, so I think he's going to go in the middle around 8%. Beto O'Rourke had a chance probably 6 weeks ago when Ted Cruz was around a +2 average in RCP. Another likely seat, North Dakota, Kevin Cramer is really up. He's been up most of the race except the beginning where Heidi Heitkamp led around 3%. But after the Kavanaugh trial, Kevin Cramer's been leading around a 10% or more. Not over 15% yet, so I'm going to say this is going to be around a 12% win for Kevin Cramer. That's a huge flip margin when Heidi Heitkamp was leading in the beginning of the race. Another likely seat is the state of Tennessee. Marsha Blackburn's probably going to win the seat around a 5.5 to 6%. Poll shows she's going to win around a 6 to 7%, and Phil Bredesen was actually leading for most of the race. But in the last month, Marsha Blackburn has taken a huge lead. Republicans have taken back the Senate. There's 14 seats still up for re-election. This is going to be very good for Republicans because all these seats that are going Republican are most likely to. For likely Democrat, the state of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Ohio, Virginia, all four of these are going to go Democrat. Wisconsin's been closer. Tammy Baldwin's around a 7% lead. I'm going to say she's winning this by 6% against Leah Vukmir. In the state of Ohio, Sherrod Brown's going to win this around. It's been narrowing out. Before it was around a 10-11%, and now it's dropped to around a 7.5%, so I think he could win this around a 6.5-6%. For Bob Casey, he's most likely going to win this around a 10-11% against Lou Barletta. It's been about the same for the last month. For the state of Virginia, Tim Kaine could win this likely or safe. Corey Stewart really doesn't have a chance here. Tim Kaine's going to win this around between 13 and 16%. It's more favorably going to be in the likely column than the safe column, though. For lean Republican, the only state, Missouri. Missouri, Josh Hawley's been leading since August. He's been able to get these narrow leads. For a long time, he was around a +0.3, but now he's around a 2%. So I think he could win this a little over 1%. Claire McCaskill still has a chance here, but it's favored in Josh Hawley's hands. So this is another flip from the Democrats to the Republicans, giving them where they left off with 51 Republicans, but there's now 9 seats still up. This could give Republicans a huge chance to grab way more seats than they currently have. For lean Democrats, New Jersey, West Virginia, Michigan. These three. In New Jersey, Bob Menendez is most likely going to win this by around a 6%. Oh, wait, Minnesota special election as well. But Bob Menendez is going to win this around a 5%, 4%. Compared to Bob Hugin, this has been a very interesting race to watch. At points, it was actually in the toss-up column, but in the end of the race, Bob Menendez has moved it into the lean Democrat. In the state of West Virginia, after Joe Manchin had sided with the Republicans in nominating Brett Kavanaugh It boosted his lead, but then it narrowed out. Now he's going to win this probably around a 4%. Patrick Morrisey has picked up his lead, and Joe Manchin has lost his excitement in the race. So this is going to be also an interesting race to watch. I don't think it's going to flip, but it's going to be narrow. In the state of Michigan, John James has picked up a ton of speed, and polls that shows around a 6-7% win for Bevy Stabenow. But I think because of this momentum, it's going to carry on to the election day, and she's going to win at a 4.5% to John James. John James still has a chance here. There's not that many polls that have been out in Michigan, so this is going to be very interesting to watch. In Minnesota special election, this is also going to be an interesting race, but the Democrats will most likely win this around a 6%, not 6%, 5%. Polls show that the Democrats are going to win around a 6.5%, but usually polls overestimate the winner. For tilt Republican, the state of Florida. Florida is going to be very interesting to watch. Polls show it's +2 for Bill Nelson. There's a new poll that came out today where Rick Scott leads by +1. But with the high turnout in Florida for Republicans, +6% more turnout than Democrats. That includes in the governor race and the House races. I think that Rick Scott has a huge chance of picking up this seat, but it's going to be very hard for him. I still think he's going to win this, though, by around a 0.2 to 0.3%. It's going to be probably going into the next day when it would be called. Early the next day, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., around Alaska time, because this is going to be such a close race. A tilt Democrat seat, the state of Montana, Jon Tester is going to win this around a 0.8%, 0.9%. The independent here that endorsed Matt Rosendale, their base isn't really, they feel betrayed and they don't feel like they should move to the Republicans, but some of them are, and this is kind of boosting Matt Rosendale, even though in polls show Jon Tester is going to win around a 4%, but there's not that many been out, and Trump was here today, so I think that's going to boost Matt Rosendale's chances here, but I still think it'll go to Jon Tester around a 0.8, 0.9%. Oh no. Okay, for tilt Republican, I see the state of Arizona. This is going to be interesting, though. Even though polls show that Krista Sinema has taken the lead, I think Marsha McSally is going to win this around a 0.1%, 0.2%, somewhere in the middle of that. This is going to be the closest race. I said this in the last video as well. It's been up and down. For a long time, it was Krista Sinema in the lead, and then in the last 2 months, Martha McSally has taken the lead, and it's gone back to Krista Sinema and back and forth, really. For tilt Democrat, the states of Indiana, Mike Braun and Joe Donnelly have been fighting each other here. It's going to be very interesting here. Same with the state of Nevada. Actually, Dean Heller is leading here, and I think he's going to lose because Democrats have a +4% more turnout than Republicans. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll have my final prediction out as an election night, the day before or the day of election, of the midterm elections.